Hey guys, Teddy Zane here. Okay, so now I want to answer this question that I got on YouTube, and I keep getting this question. I get it in my Discord also. If you guys want to join my Discord and stay connected with me, it's only 10 bucks. Link is below. In the Discord, you can ask me anything, and you're with me on this journey 24/7. You can hit me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You can't do that here on YouTube. First of all, I've been taking anabolics for 30 years. So I've pretty much been taking testosterone as one of those anabolics for 30 years. I've been on straight for about the past 20. So the first 10 years, I've been training for 40. My first 10 years were natural. I then started, testosterone was one of the very first that I started. And for the next 30, it was on and off, on and off. But testosterone has now always been there. I never come off testosterone. I'm now on TRT, doctor prescribed test. So this is how much you need, and I'm just going to break it down from the age of 30. Leading up to that age, you were most likely, if you have no health conditions and you're the average male, you were at 1,000 to 1,100. Those were your points. You will peak at about the age of, I'll say 28, 29, 30 years old. You're going to peak at testosterone levels. They then start to decline as you reach 40, 50, 60. And the reason for that is evolution and procreation. At the age of 40 and 50 and 60, you should already have procreated. You don't need high levels of testosterone later in your life. That's a part of evolution. So your body is genetically designed to start recoiling testosterone as you get older. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't eat certain foods to boost it, contrary to all this crap you see on YouTube. Take test boosters, eat this. It's all bullshit. You can't do it, none of it works. You have to take an injection. The injection has an ester attached. That ester is a slow release of actual testosterone hormone that slowly enters into your system and holds you level throughout the course of a week to 2 weeks. All those different esters like cypionate, ananthate, sustanon, all those are all just the different types of esters attached to the sustanon, or say to the testosterone, or to whatever that compound might be. So at the age of 30, you should be at around 1,000 to 1,100 if you're a healthy male adult. Now, you can go to a doctor, and at the age of 30, a doctor will look at you for TRT. That's where it starts. It starts at the age of 30. If you're 25, doctor's going to laugh at you. You're not getting a testosterone prescription at the age of 25. I got my first script at the age of 30 because I knew this. I go to the doctor, I wanted to be on a prescription, and I got my script written for me at the age of 30. Now, let's talk about 40. Now, let's say you're not on TRT. By the time you hit the age of 40, owning a gym and being in this business now for 40 years, I've owned my gym that I'm in for 20 years, I have seen guys bring me their blood work, their labs, at the age of 40, and they are some guys will be between 300 and 400. If you're not on any TRT and you've just beat yourself up throughout your life, you've eaten like crap, you're not watching your estrogen, your diet's out of track, you're not doing cardio, you're not training right, you've allowed your testosterone to just plummet and unravel. And that's what I usually see. So, if that's you, you got to get that testosterone back up to 900 to 1,000. And the reason being is because as that testosterone plummets, what happens? Estrogen, the body is trying to somehow equalize and create a balance, so it brings estrogen up. Estrogen is a fat-storing hormone. Estrogen is the nightmare for the adult male. So that's the problem. A lot of you guys out there are like, oh, I ain't got nothing to worry about, or your doctor says, yeah, your testosterone's 400, you're fine. But did he check your estrogen? Why do you think you're at 26, 27, 28% body fat? Because your test is way down here and your estrogen is like 70, 80. You see what I'm saying? Once that estrogen goes up, it's damn near impossible to get body fat off because you're underwater. The testosterone should be way up here and the estrogen should be way down here. Like right now, my testosterone is 1,200. My estrogen is between 20 and 25. And that's where it should be. I'm 52 years old. 1,200, 20, 25. I'm at optimal performance level for fat burning, muscle building, and not worrying about storing body fat, not worrying about any side effects of anything going on in my life. Also, I must add that the leaner you stay throughout your life, the lower the estrogen stays. So right now, you could be 25 years old, yet you're obese. Your estrogen levels are probably through the freaking roof. Double-edged sword on that one, because your testosterone plummeted, because you're obese, estrogen, okay, different scenario there. So the age of 40, you should be going to a doctor, having those testosterone levels checked, having the estrogen levels checked, and if a doctor tells you no, see me in the Discord. I'll tell you exactly what to do to get the doctor to say yes. Now let's go to the age of 50. The age of 50, I'm seeing guys come to me with 200 to 250, maybe 300 max I'm seeing. These are guys straight from the doctor saying, Teddy, what's going on? Why are my testosterone levels so low? Your testosterone levels are so low because you're 50 years old, you haven't been hitting the gym, you've eaten any, again, it's the same gamut. You've allowed yourself to unravel and you've not done anything to reverse it. Does training increase testosterone? It does. Training will, as long as you are super consistent, it will actually allow you to hold your testosterone levels somewhat stable. So me at 50, had I not been on testosterone, my natural testosterone levels could have been 600 probably, because I've trained my entire life. I've kept my body fat ultra low, and I've kept a large amount of muscle on my frame. Therefore, I will be able to maintain a higher testosterone level versus the soccer dad that's a couch potato, watching sports, drinking beer, not giving a crap. I'm at 600, he's at 200. See the difference? His 200 testosterone and his estrogen is probably 90. Okay, so he's got a lot of problems. He's going to have a ton of health issues. Estrogen is also a cancer booster, just so you guys know. Why do you think women that have breast cancer have to immediately drop their estrogen? Men too. When you have high levels of estrogen, you're feeding any cancer cells that are in your body. So there is a major, red flag for obesity, because obesity is attached to high estrogen levels, and that is attached to cancer. So if you are obese, you're going to have a whirlwind of issues, underlining issues, from just the fact that you're overweight, okay? It has nothing to do with the testosterone, it's the estrogen. So now at the age of 50, what do you do? Now, if you are 50 years old and you're testing between 200 to 250, a doctor will prescribe you testosterone. And it is very safe for you to get that testosterone as long as you don't have any issues with your prostate cancer, stuff like that. If you have issues with your prostate cancer because you've just let yourself either go, or genetically something's going on in your family to where your dad handed it down to you, grandfather had prostate cancer, had an enlarged prostate, different can of worms, because as soon as you start testosterone, it's going to increase the size of your prostate. That's another reason your body slowly declines that testosterone production as you age, because the prostate will be affected. Now, if you don't have any prostate issues like me, thank God, knock on wood, you can go to the doctor, get that doctor prescription. He'll give you 200 milligrams of cypionate, and you run that 200 milligrams of cypionate every 10 days to every 14 days. Now, what happens when you do that? You start taking 200 milligrams of cypionate because it has that slow-release ester, that 7-day ester. Over the course of 2 weeks, actually, that number, that 250, climbs to 500. You would do another injection on day 7 or 10. It would then climb to about 800, and you'd probably max at about 800, doing 1 milliliter every 10 days. That's where I've seen guys max out, with that one every 7 to 10 days. Some doctors will say take it every 14 days. Me personally, no way. 7 to 10 for me. And a lot of times, guys, I have my 7-day regimen set up, and I'll just get lazy or I'll forget, and I won't take my shot on day 7. I'll be like, screw it, I'll roll over to day 10. No difference in my body, no difference in my energy, no difference in my sex drive. There's no difference in anything if I just give it that 3-day, I prolong it 3 days. So that's another thing. I've been on testosterone for so long, like I didn't go through that sex drive slump like a lot of guys do. I didn't go through that depression, that midlife crisis, that, oh shit, my whole life sucks, like a lot of people that fall into low T, their whole world unravels. I never went through that because I've been on testosterone my whole freaking life. Like, if you want to talk about sex and sex drive, mine has been super consistent my whole life because I've controlled my hormones. I was smart enough to make sure I controlled my testosterone levels my entire freaking life. And now I make sure I stay at 1100. Every time I go to the doctor and get tested, I'm between 1100 and 1200. I have that number spot on. That's the perfect spot for me. I don't need any, and that's only doing 1 milliliter, guys, every 10 days, basically. My body, because my natty test is already somewhat high from training the way I do, super low body fat. I carry a lot of muscle. Therefore, I'm prone to having higher levels of testosterone. I also knew as a teenager I had higher levels of testosterone because right when I started training at the age of 12, I started putting muscle on stupid fast. And I started getting acne everywhere when I started training, which that was another sign. A lot of people, I went to some coaches and some trainers and some hardcore gyms, and they were like, dude, you are too big for a 13, 14-year-old, and you've got acne. You've got super high levels of testosterone. Nobody ever told me what they were, and I never went to the doctor to check, but they told me those were the signs that I had natural high testosterone levels, which was great, and it was true. Because then as I got into my 20s, I started blowing up like a beast, natural, didn't have to touch anything. It wasn't until I plateaued at the age of about 22 that I had to start stuff. So there it is. The number you should be at is 1100. You need to stay at 1100 basically for the rest of your life. You should never fall below 1000. Okay, optimal level for low body fat and a very healthy muscular physique is going to be 1,000. You need to hold 1,000 points of testosterone. And you need to hold it very consistently. There can't be this roller coaster up and down because when there is, it is combated with estrogen. So that, again, the test drops, the estrogen raises, and now you're in a world of trouble because the estrogen is so freaking high. So just get the testosterone in check, and that lowers estrogen. As soon as the test comes up, the estrogen says, oh, you don't need me. And the estrogen starts to go down. As soon as the body fat comes off, estrogen says, oh, you don't need me. Estrogen comes down. As soon as all that muscle comes on, the testosterone goes up. You see what I'm saying? So it all works hand in hand. Getting in shape works wonders internally for what's happening with your hormone levels. So I hope that helps. If you're at 30, you can go to the doctor, 40, 50. If you're at 40 and you're not on TRT, you have lost your freaking mind. You have no idea what you're missing out on. Okay, so that's my advice. At the age of 40, you better be on TRT. It's going to improve everything in your life. It's going to keep you from having a midlife crisis. It's going to keep you from falling into a depression. It's going to keep your wife happy. And you can't take any of this testosterone booster bullcrap as seen on TV. None of it freaking works. You have to go to the doctor and get prescribed testosterone. All right, guys, Discord link below. Join the fam. When you're in the Discord, come talk to me and just ask me anything. Just let me know that you're there. Let me know how old you are so we can get our relationships going along this awesome fit journey at the age of 50. Peace out, everybody.